Hey there, happy Friday. Okay, today I am really super excited because I have Kerry Peck with us. In case you don't know him, you will know him because I have some very exciting news about Kerry. We all know he is the go-to elder law attorney in the Chicago metropolitan area. But I'm going to read this so I don't make any mistakes. The effective April 12th, 2022, the Supreme Court Commission on Elder Law has been created. So now we have a commission. And I'm happy to say that Kerry has been appointed the chair of this commission. I think instead of me reading, I'm going to let Kerry tell us about the commission and the purpose of the commission and the goals and what we have hoped to achieve. So
Great.
welcome.
Thank you, Betsy. Thank you for having me. I appreciate that. And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As Betsy indicated, I'm honored and privileged. The Illinois Supreme Court has made a historic decision. They've created for the first time ever a Illinois Supreme Court Commission on elder law. And of course, elder law addresses issues relating to all of us aging. And as you know, your parents, your grandparents have unique problems as they age. Betsy's a leader in dealing with housing issues of aging folks. And so the commission it has been set up to basically gather information from folks out into the community. It could be older adults, it could be lawyers, it could be doctors, in essence, the stakeholders in the elder law and older adult community. And what we're going to do is gather that information, and then we're going to address some of the major problems that are facing older adults. And certainly, I think one of those major problems is financial exploitation and elder abuse. Some years ago, I was hired by Mayor Daley II and the Department of Aging for the city of Chicago to rewrite the Elder Abuse and Neglect Act for the state of Illinois. And so this has been an ongoing concern for many, many, many years. And the reality here is older adults are exploited in a lot of different ways. They're often exploited, unfortunately, by family members. They're often exploited by caregivers. They're exploited by total strangers on the internet. There are an awful lot of what is being called today romance scams on the internet, in which people meet the love of their life on the internet. They've never seen them other than on the internet, and they send them a lot of money. So often these folks that are financially exploited suffer from a cognitive impairment that may be a result of Alzheimer's disease, or it may be a result of a stroke and they have a vascular dementia, something of that nature. But we just see, financial exploitation and cognitive impairment, they go kind of hand in hand. And older adults are susceptible. Certainly, they're more isolated. The COVID pandemic has caused everybody to be more isolated. And I think that it's hit our older population in a much, much stronger manner than probably folks, middle-aged and the like. The other issues that the Elder Law Commission has been charged by the Supreme Court to address include lawyer issues. And that is the representation of clients that are cognitively impaired. We have in Illinois one rule currently, Rule 1.14 of the Illinois Code of Professional Responsibility, that directs lawyers how to represent someone that's cognitively impaired. But today, with the aging population, lawyers of all areas, lawyers in business law and lawyers in personal injury law, lawyers in corporate law, doesn't matter what area, they are seeing more and more clients that suffer from some type of cognitive deficit. And I've asked the Supreme Court, and they have agreed to authorize us to take a look at that issue and to propose new rules and additional rules regarding how lawyers should represent a cognitively impaired individual. The Supreme Court has also asked us and directed us to take a look at guardianship cases. Clearly, the most infamous guardianship case today is the Britney Spears case. And of course, in California, they call it a conservatorship. In Illinois, we call it a guardianship. It's virtually interchangeable language. But you'll recall in the Britney Spears case, her father was paid a percentage of what she earned, for example, in her Las Vegas shows, things of that nature. And older adults must be afforded all of the protections possible to make sure that guardianship isn't used inappropriately or punitively against an older adult. Certainly, many older adults require a guardian. A guardian, if you don't know, a guardianship case is a court determination as to whether an individual needs a third-party decision maker. And it could be a family member. Does, hypothetically, someone need an individual or an entity to manage their financial affairs and or their medical health related matters? And that's how guardianship's divided into kind of finance on one side and health on the other side. And clearly, as we age, many people become cognitively impaired for a lot of different reasons. We've mentioned a couple earlier on in our program. But the reality is we need to make sure that older adults are afforded all of the protections that they can, because a guardianship, a civil case compared to a criminal case, everybody's familiar with a criminal case, you get convicted of a serious crime, you go to jail. In a guardianship case, a civil case, again, no criminal repercussions, but an older adult loses the right to vote, loses the right to drive, loses the right to contract with third parties, to take care of them, to move them, to be their doctor. So these are very, very serious deprivations of civil liberties in a civil guardianship case. And we need to make sure that the process is working smoothly. We need to make sure that all the players in that process are qualified. For example, in a guardianship case, the court appoints a guardian ad litem. And that guardian ad litem is a lawyer that is directed by the court to go out and interview the older adult who's the subject of the guardianship. So, for example, if your grandmother is, cognitively impaired, and the conclusion is she needs potentially to have a guardian, you file for guardianship. You get a medical report indicating she's not capable of making those decisions. And the court will appoint someone, a lawyer, to go out and talk to your grandmother, regardless of where she lives, whether she lives in her house, she lives in a nursing home, she's in a hospital. That lawyer is directed to go out and talk to grandma and inform grandma of basically, kind of two roles there. One, grandma, a guardianship case has been filed and you have the right to participate. You have the right to agree to a guardian, to object to a guardian. You have, if you wish, even to have a jury trial to determine if you can make your own decisions. Very rarely done in probate court, but the law allows an individual to have that right. You have the right to have a lawyer appointed to defend you. So the guardian ad litem is really the eyes and ears of the court. That guardian ad litem is duly designated by the judge to go out and talk to grandma and to advise grandma of her probate rights. Okay, the law is, as I mentioned, grandma has certain rights. The guardian ad litem also will generally conduct a mini mental status exam of grandma basic orientation questions. I've had the honor of being appointed in hundreds of these cases by the court to go out and visit grandma or visit your mother or your father and determine, should I recommend to the court you need a guardian? And basic orientation questions: time, date, place, who's the mayor of Chicago, what year is it, what's your date of birth, things of that nature that virtually everyone, if they're not cognitively impaired, would be capable of answering. So the Supreme Court has directed us to make certain that we have standardized qualifications and credentials for that court-appointed guardian ad litem throughout the state. So from, Chicago at the north end all the way down to Mount Vernon at the south end of the state. Make sure we have qualified guardian ad litems. So in addition, the court has directed that the court has realized in the past, under the leadership of Chief Justice Ann Burke, that there are lawyers suffer and non-lawyers suffer and judges suffer from mental health related problems. And the court has directed that the Elder Law Commission work with the previously created Mental Health Committee to address issues that may be impacting lawyers as they age. Is it a substance abuse? Is it a mental illness? Is it schizophrenia? Is it bipolar disease? And address at the same time how those issues impact, if they do, on the fitness of a lawyer to continue to practice. Just because someone's 80 years old, are they unfit to practice? Probably not, unless there are some underlying health issues. And how are we going to gauge their fitness to practice? Should we have them talk to another lawyer, somebody that perhaps the court appoints to monitor the fitness to continue practice in the law world by the court? So these are a lot of very significant issues affecting both older adults and lawyers and the general population of the state of Illinois. And, I'm honored that the Supreme Court has chosen me to lead this commission. And I look forward to working with the Supreme Court and the members of the commission. Betsy, it's significant that I asked the Supreme Court to make this a multidisciplinary commission. So we have members of the court from the medical community that can contribute a completely different perspective, certainly than the lawyers. And I think that was a terrific outcome, that the Supreme Court believed that this multidisciplinary approach to the commission would be a benefit. And so what we intend to do is go around the state and hear what is going on in your community. Find out, the issues relating to financial exploitation and older lawyer issues, and on down the line in the list that I've discussed here in the creation and the scope of the commission that the Supreme Court has created. And so that's, basically where we're at. And it's a wonderful thing. It's revolutionary. And we're hoping that it's going to ultimately change the lives of both the lawyers and the average citizen here in Illinois.
I can't thank you enough. And I think that's wonderful. And I'll just say the reason, of course, I'm interested from a humanitarian point of view, but we find it that this is currently a crisis because I'm sure you would agree, say 50, 60 years ago, we didn't have as many elderly people. People died. Let's be honest, our grandparents, they sort of just lived to 75 or 80 and we didn't have. So now with the baby boomers aging and medical care and healthcare the way it is, we have a much larger senior population. So it's wonderful to hear that we are addressing this issue as our universe changes. So that's great. So
Thank you. I agree with you. We also have, in addition to larger, we have more active older adult population. You know,
right.
they're out working, they're out volunteering, they're out engaged in the community. Whereas I think, you know, decades ago, people kind of aged at home and maybe watched TV, and that was the end of it. You know.
That's right. So I think that those of us that are watching our world change, we have to stay on top of that. And like you said, this is revolutionary because it is new. We are taking a new, fresh look at something because we have a new problem based on the changes that we are occurring in our communities. So
that's a very, very articulate analysis of the problem.
and of course, that we see in housing as well. And we want to make sure that everyone is safe in their homes. And it just sort of feeds right into what our laws. So I also, before I let you go, this was amazing and wonderful. I just want to let everybody know that Kerry wrote this wonderful, I gotta see if I can get it up here, wonderful book about Don't Let Dementia Steal Everything. It is packed with all kinds of great information. Unfortunately, I have been through some of this with my kid's dad, and it's, you don't know what you don't know. So this is a great resource for everyone to pick up. So again, Kerry, I want to thank you. I want to congratulate you, and I'd love to have you back next year, and maybe we can hear about some of the things that you've learned and that have been accomplished at the commission.
Betsy, thank you very much for having me as a guest today. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know Betsy, get to know Betsy. She can help you with your housing needs. And I'd be pleased to come back next year and report on the progress.
I'm really going to be excited to hear from you guys.
All right.
It's not sunny, but I think tomorrow it's supposed to be nice. So get outside and enjoy it.
All right. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye now.